December, which means the year is almost over. I have had a couple of bucket list things for this year specifically. So a couple of my bucket list things were, one, to read at least one book every month, which I did complete, and I will be making another video based on all of the books I've read. But my other one was to go to at least one movie every month. And that I did do. I have seen 20 movies this 2025 year. I'm going to rank all of those movies. You might be upset, and so as I rank them, I'm also going to say the Rotten Tomatoes percentage, because there's a couple movies. Specifically, I have a movie that got a 93% that is in my bottom 2, and the reason it's there is just because it wasn't my cup of tea. But I want you to know that, like, people did enjoy this movie, so if you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. So, my goodness, before I get into anything, I need to introduce you guys to my LaFoofus. Look, this one's eyes are stupid. Or this one's eyes, they're both kind of stupid. Look like Sean from Good Mythical Morning. Okay, let's get started. I'm gonna go worst to best, so we'll save the best for last. But starting with the worst is a movie called A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey. First off, too many words for a title. Let's start there. Second, this movie made absolutely no sense. If you saw this movie in theaters and you understood it, please let me know what it was about. I understand what the director was trying to do. I think the whole point of it was, no, I literally, I thought for a moment I might have something. I have nothing. By the way, I have my notes. I'm not like, it stars Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell. They play the two main characters, and it just doesn't make sense. It's like both of them meet because they go to this magical car dealership and get cars that tell them where to go, and both of the cars, or one of the cars breaks down and they're in the same car, and each movie in their lives. It doesn't make sense. And good news, it only got a 37% on Rotten Tomatoes, so if you're like, oh, I wanted to see that, it's not really worth your time. Moving on, number 19 out of 20, you guys are gonna be mad at me, okay? But I put Weapons. And the reason I put Weapons, I don't like horror movies. Period. I didn't like Weapons. I thought the ending was really corny. With this one specifically, I am going to tell a little bit about the ending. If you don't want to hear how Weapons ends, if you haven't seen it yet, skip ahead a little bit. I'll put the time to which you have to skip forward to. In the end, it's all revealed that, like, the great aunt is, like, secretly a witch, and she's been doing witchcraft to make everyone in town listen to her. And I didn't love that. I thought it kind of took away from the mystery of it. I wish it would have been even something like they couldn't understand, or if it was like some sort of like dark creature. I didn't like that it was witchcraft. I thought, I don't know, I wanted it to be cooler. It got a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes though, so I mean, people really liked it. It's a great movie for most people. I'm just not a horror movie type. Watch Weapons if you want, or don't. Number 18 out of 20, the Minecraft movie. It's Minecraft, so obviously I loved it. I was very excited for this movie. I knew it was gonna be corny. I knew it was gonna be cheesy. I knew it was gonna be bad. Let's be honest. It's a Minecraft movie, and it's starring Jack Black as Steve, which was fun. But, like, Jack Black isn't Steve, right? Loved the lava chicken bit. That was awesome. It was a cute, dumb movie, and I liked it a lot, but other movies were a lot better, so it landed at 18, sadly. And on Rotten Tomatoes, it got a 48%, so almost half. I'd recommend watching it if you're a Minecraft fan, if you're a Jack Black fan, if you're a Jason Momoa, I think is in that movie. If you're a Jason Momoa fan, watch it. It's funny. It is. It's cute. Okay, number 17, and I'm very passionate about this movie, so I don't know. It's Snow White, the new live-action 2025 Snow White. That's what I've ranked as number 17, and here's why. I wish I could rank this movie higher. I do, because I love Rachel Zegler.
It's so awesome that you say that because you said her name wrong.
Like, guys, I think she is such an amazing singer. She's a great actor too, but like, she is an amazing singer, and I don't think she gets enough credit for how good her singing is. If you guys hear her in Snow White Returns, one of the songs in the movie, the girl is belting things out that like no one should be able to belt. I was so impressed with her vocals. Her acting in this movie was a little weird. Rachel Ziegler did amazing. Here's the issue with the movie, everything else. Gal as the evil queen, awful choice, horrible choice. Girl can't sing, she barely played evil, she played kinda bored, and her singing was so uncomfortable to watch because one, it was so auto-tuned, and two, it was bad. The dwarves are so horribly CGI'd, they're so creepy to look at. It's like uncomfortable to watch once again. Also, they changed the storyline, and I was kind of excited because I was like, oh, let's see what they do with it. It was kind of lame. And it got a 39% on Rotten Tomatoes, so not great. 16 out of 20 is Freakier Friday. Fun fact, I've never seen Freaky Friday. I went to this movie because I went to the movies one night and I was like, hey, what's on? And they listed all the movies and they all sounded awful. And I was like, okay, please just pick one for me. And they said, we'll do Freakier Friday. And I said, great. I've never seen the first, but I knew the general storyline is like the mom and the daughter switch places and they like better understood each other or whatever. This movie made me cry. It was really cute.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for Pearl doesn't know how to describe movies.
The grandma, the mom, the daughter, and then the daughter's friend all switch places, but technically the daughter is a stepsister. Wait, I don't understand this movie. Okay, there's the grandma, who's the original mom. There's the mom, who's the original daughter. Then there's the daughter. Now the mom married a guy, and the guy had a daughter, so they're stepsisters. Anyway, the four of them, not the guy. They change places, and then they all understand each other better. Super cute. I cried. It was great. It got a 74% on Rotten Tomatoes, so I'd recommend watching it. Okay, number 15 out of 20. This one I think is going to be a little bit controversial. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on this movie, and it is Moana 2. Here's my question for you. What was the plot of the first Moana movie? Let me give you a second to just think about that. All right, I've given you a second. If you said, oh, they had the heart of Tafiti and then they had to go to the island, you'd be right, and that's it. It's Moana has a rock and goes to an island. And that's it. The thing that made Moana good were the songs. I mean, the only thing memorable about Moana are the songs. People don't really remember the storyline a whole lot because it's like, oh yeah, she's just going there. She's in the water because it's the songs that are memorable. And I was excited for the Moana 2 songs, and 2 of them are really good. Go Beyond or Beyond, whichever that one is. It's basically the new How Far I'll Go. I thought that was beautiful. And then there's another song sung by another demigod, I believe, and it's Get Lost, and Get Lost is quite good. Every other song though is not super great. The reason I'm putting it at 15 is because, yeah, the plot wasn't great. It was basically the same as the first movie, but the stakes were higher. The animation's good, and it's Disney. On Rotten Tomatoes, it got a 60%, so I would recommend watching it at some point if you haven't, because it is a good movie. My 14 out of 20 is Sketch. Super weird movie. I'm not gonna talk a whole lot about this one because most people haven't seen it. Basically, a kid's drawings come to life, and he draws a bunch of weird, creepy stuff, and so they are all weird and creepy in real life. And I really like the animation of the sketch designs. I think it's really interesting. I'll put a couple photos up.
Oh my goodness, they're so creepy. Ew, so creepy. Ugh.
And the dad's acting is played by Tony Hale, and it is so well done. It is like just a tired dad who's so over his son drawing these really his daughter drawing these really creepy drawings. Like, he's just so over it, and the girl just keeps drawing all of these creepy drawings. It got a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, so recommend watching it. All right, my 13 out of 20 is the new Lilo and Stitch movie. I've actually never seen the original movie. I always thought that Stitch was really gross and creepy because I went to Disney World when I was like 7. I went to that Stitch ride, and that was my first ever experience of Stitch when it's like super smelly and gross.
This is an actual thumbnail from a YouTuber about the ride.
And so I never watched the movie. But I thought it was a great storyline. Stitch is still annoying and gross in my mind, but he was less so in this movie. I thought he was kind of cute. I love Nani. She's so relatable, and like, I know people have said that they changed the ending, and like, apparently she had Lilo after that and she didn't go to college, but I actually really liked that she found someone who would be willing to care for Lilo so that she could still fulfill her dreams of like going to college, because she gave up so much of her life that it's great that she's able to still do her own things while still giving up some things. I liked it. It has a 72% on Rotten Tomatoes, so I recommend watching it. Overall, great movie. Okay, my 12 out of 20 is the new Five Nights at Freddy's movie, Five Nights at Freddy 2. Five Nights at Freddy? I feel like Courtney from Smosh. Okay, the new Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I have been waiting for this movie. I've been so excited. I've been watching all the promos. I know the Mad Pat was gonna be in it again. I don't know. I was just very excited. I really love the animatronics. The withered animatronics were so cool to see. The toy ones I don't care as much about, but the withered were cool. I loved that they were making fun of the game, specifically making fun of the second game when Josh Hutcherson is like, "Oh yeah, where's the door to the office?" And they're like, "Oh no, there is no door." He's like, what idiot would make an office with no doors? An amazing question. Scott Cawthorn, that's who. This movie got a 15% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm not sure why. A lot of people said they were confused about the storyline, but most of those people. Oh, I'm gonna sound like such a nerd. Most of those people don't know the lore. And like, I know the lore because I'm obsessed with Five Nights at Freddy's and I watch all the gameplay and I've seen all of Matt Pat's videos and I've seen Smosh explain it and I've seen Markiplier play it. So I read the books. Yes, it's like that bad. So I know the lore behind it and so I really liked it because I understood what was going on the whole time because I was like, oh, I have background knowledge. But for people who didn't have background knowledge, I could see where there would be confusion. Number 11 out of 20 is Elio. Super cute movie and a Disney original, which we never get anymore. It had a really adorable storyline of this kid who's just trying to figure out who he is. He was adopted by, I believe it was his aunt, and he doesn't have any friends and he always thinks that he has friends that are on other planets, and turns out that's true. He does meet kids on other planets. He ends up kind of figuring out like who he is in the end, and it made me cry. It was a really cute movie and it has an 83% on Rotten Tomatoes, so I would definitely recommend watching Elio. Okay, 10 out of 20 is Mission Impossible. I'm gonna be honest, I watched this right when it came out and I don't remember a whole lot about it, so it could be lower on my list, but I know that the visual effects and CGI were really well done. I love Tom Cruise. Maybe I believe in the language of love. Love all of Tom Cruise's movies, and there's a really good conclusion to the series, and it made me so nervous. Like, I usually get nervous when watching Mission Impossible movies, but this one, I was stressed. I had goosebumps. I was like, it was stressful. Yeah, I don't remember a whole lot about it, so I wish I could tell you more. I remember that I think they're fighting AI. 80% on Rotten Tomatoes and 10 out of 20 on my list. The reason this movie could be my number one, the reason I've made it 9 out of 20 is because technically it didn't come out this year. This movie came out a couple years ago because it was shown at like a film festival and it came out in some countries, but then it was re-released in other countries, and I was in Ireland when it was re-released in Ireland in 2025. So I went to it in 2025, but I do believe it was released in 2023. This movie is Flow, and Flow is one of the most interesting and unique movies I've ever watched in my life. There is no dialogue whatsoever. It's because it's all about animals in the middle of a flood. It like floods the whole earth. Some people have said that it's during Noah's flood and what happened to the animals that weren't on the ark. I don't know if that's exactly what it is. They don't specify anything, but yeah, there's a flood that floods the earth. It's the story of this cat who has to survive the flood and all of the friends that the cat meets along the way. They meet a dog, they meet a monkey. I don't even remember. There's like dogs, a bird for sure. I think there's a badger or some. No. The reason I like this film so much is it is the most realistic. Oh, my mom's calling. Hi everyone, I'm back from my phone call. The reason I love Flow so much is because it's the most realistic adaptation of how animals act in real life. Cat is always scratching on things and is always like kind of hesitant to meet new people. The dog is so excited. It's a little golden retriever. And the dog is so excited to meet people. The bird is just kind of sitting there not dealing with everyone. The capybara was just kind of sleeping all day. I swear there was a monkey because there was an animal that was like stealing stuff. I would have given it a bit of a higher one, but the ending was a little bit confusing. There's a scene with the bird that I didn't quite understand. So I put it 9 out of 10, but it does have a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is amazing because it came from a film festival, and I mean, it's such a well done, beautiful story. Okay, my number 8 out of 20 is Zootopia 2. I've actually seen this movie twice this year. I wasn't planning on seeing it twice, but I went with my friend another time. It is hilarious. The jokes do not stop the entire time. There's a lot of new characters that actually are well introduced. There were so many new characters in this, but they also had so many old characters where it was like, there's a good mesh, and they did a good job of keeping the old characters still as the main characters and adding these other ones to be helpful side characters. The relationship between Judy and Nick Wilder
Yeah, you should be making that face. It's Nick Wilde, not Nick Wilder.
Is strained in this one. They're trying to figure out if they're good partners. I think both in real life and then also as cops. They're both cops now. And a lot of people have been taking sides. I personally am on Nick's side. My friend when we watched it was on Judy's side. There's a lot of conflict in this movie and a lot of relationship issues, but so many fun jokes, and there's a twist at the end that is really well done. Overall, great movie. Has a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 7 is Good Fortune. This one I didn't even know was coming out until I saw it as I was like walking into a theater, and I was like, oh, this looks like fun. It stars Keanu Reeves as a really bad angel. I've never understood someone more than the main character of this movie, Arj. The guy who plays him, I can't remember his name right now, but he also directed the movie. It's his directorial debut. The main character is just trying to get by, like he barely has any money. He lives out of his car and he loses his car, and he's like, basically he's like, oh, I'm just gonna end it all. And this angel, played by Keanu Reeves, his job is to stop people from texting and driving. He's like, I want to do something more with my life. So he goes up to Arj and he's like, oh, I'm gonna make it so that you switch lives with a really rich guy and you can see what it's like, because it's not going to be all it lives up to, and then it is, and then it's the struggle of trying to get him to switch back. It's really funny, but it also talks about a lot of current issues, especially with poverty. It's a 79% on Rotten Tomatoes. I would 100% recommend watching this. All right, number 6 is Fantastic Four. I really liked it. It was a good movie. It's a Marvel movie. Marvel popped off. It was a really good standalone. Usually with Marvel movies, you have to watch at least 32 to understand any movie that comes out any of these days. No, it was a really good standalone film. It was in a different universe, so it was really interesting to see like a 1950s futuristic vibe. Kind of cool. I love the relationship between all 4 of the Fantastic Four. And it got an 86% on Rotten Tomatoes. Definitely recommend watching it. Even if you're not a Marvel fan, you don't have to be, because it's a standalone. All right, we are now into my top 5. My number 5, I'm thinking people are not going to be okay with. My number 5 is Regretting You. And yes, the Colleen Hoover one. I really liked it. I think it's because I related to it so much, because the storylines, there were like 2 big ones with the adults and then with the younger kids. I have friends who have dealt with both of those. And they are crazy. And so the fact that I was like, oh yeah, I have friends who have dealt with that. I'm like, oh, this is crazy for me to say. So it was a little like close to home. I cried so hard. The acting, I thought, I mean, I know it's a rom-com, but it was actually like the acting was really well done. I also love Mason Thames, which is going to come up later. The acting was so well done. I loved seeing like the broken family come back together in the end. It was great. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 26%, which I totally understand, because it is not everyone's cup of tea. It is a really weird storyline if you're not used to that kind of thing. It is a rom-com. It's a Colleen Hoover thing. I totally get it being a 26%. I just personally really liked it. My number 4 is Wicked for Good. It's Wicked. Obviously, it's going to be top 5. My issue with it is I didn't love the new songs. That's a big one. I was really disappointed with the new songs, The Girl in the Bubble and No Place Like Home, which I can't stand. Everyone really likes that song. I'm not sure why. It's not good. I was really disappointed in the second half as a musical fan. I was hoping that they would explain a bit more, because in the musical the second half is only about 50 minutes long, and I was like, oh, this is going to be a full 2 hours, they can like expand on some things, and instead they just added extra things that didn't really help to expand anything. So I still left a little confused, and honestly I was a little disappointed in Cynthia's performance. I thought her rendition of No Good Deed was good, but I truly think that most other Elphabas on Broadway have done it better than her.
Oh my gosh!
I think that her rendition of Defying Gravity is one of the best. As far as No Good Deed goes, it was too sweet. They obviously put a little bit of auto-tune on her because there were certain things that I didn't love. I loved her voice crack when she sang Never Again, because that part was so good. But Ariana Grande, bro, Ariana Grande was so good. Ariana Grande was born to be Glinda. I know people are hating on her for her looks right now, but oh my goodness, this girl, like, she killed that role. She did such a good job. Glinda doesn't have necessarily a villain arc, but she has like a villain arc in her own way where she just kind of becomes a more aggressive, assertive person, and I love it for her. Got a 67% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I understand a lot of other people were disappointed with me, but a lot of people really enjoyed it because they had never seen the original musical. Into the top 3. My number 3 is the new live action How to Train Your Dragon. I saw it in theaters 2 or 3 times. Mason Thames, as I mentioned earlier, he plays Hiccup in this movie and does an amazing job at it. This is how you do a live action movie. This is what we want. Like, when a live action movie, it's literally this one, they changed nothing. There were scenes in this one that were the exact same camera angle as were in the original animated film. Specifically, it's when they're flying to the sky and Toothless like flips his little head down to look at him, and I saw that and I was like, that's a scene from the original. I loved that they kept that. I loved that they kept the Toothless design very similar. His animation was so well done, the CGI on him, and I liked that they did that rather than making him look crazy realistic. Like, they still made him look a little magical, and I really liked that. I think this was the perfect live action adaptation. Like, truly, it was really well done, and it got a 77% on Rotten Tomatoes. My number 2 is The Long Walk. I only saw it once in theaters. I wanted to see it again, but it was only in theaters for like 4 days, and I did not go within those 4 days enough, apparently. It's literally just boys walking for an hour and a half and talking. There's not a whole lot of action. There is a little bit because if you don't know the storyline, it's one boy from every state in the US. They all walk until only one is left, and if you go below a certain speed, then you get shot. There is a little bit of action with that, but most of the movie is truly just boys walking and turning from strangers into friends into almost brothers. Like, it's a lot of brotherhood in this, which I love seeing. I cried so hard at the end, and I will not tell you the ending. I was like mad at the ending, but also so happy, but also crying, and it was so many emotions. It was really realistic. They talked about a lot of social issues, and I loved how realistic they portrayed the guys. It has an 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. On to my number 1. If you know me, you know my number 1 is Superman. I have seen it, I believe, 3 times now. And the reason I like this movie so much is, as I was watching it, I kind of realized, like, this is hope in film form. There's been a lot of not great stuff happening lately in just the world in general, and this film was such a joy to watch. Like, it was truly just, it was so joyful and so hopeful. And yes, of course, there were bad things in it because every movie needs conflict. Specifically, like, David Cornsweet, who plays Superman, gives a speech at the end, and it's such a beautiful speech about, like, what it's like to be human and how, you know, like, life can be really hard, but we keep getting up and we wake up every day and we keep pushing forward. And I was like, oh, that's so true. It's a beautiful film. It's also done by the director of Guardians of the Galaxy, and you can tell based on, it's a very colorful movie, so you can tell.
Ooh, wow, look, color.
Nicholas plays Lex Luthor. He's the best Lex Luthor ever. He was awesome. He has a scene where he's like, that's the worst thing ever. There's a scene where he does that, and it's really cool, and I really like it, but whatever. So Superman has an 83% Rotten Tomatoes score, and it is my number 1 of the year. So those are all of my rankings. I will list them again right here for a moment. Wow. Whoa. I know that my rankings didn't line up with Rotten Tomatoes, so real quick, I am going to put a ranking of what it would be if it was Rotten Tomatoes, because you deserve to know that as well. Because like I said, it is just my opinion. It is not the opinion of the entire world. This is, I know it's a critics reviews, but if you saw any fun movies, let me know. I am hoping to maybe see 1 or 2 more before the year ends, and I'm very excited for 2026 because there's a lot of good movies that are coming out. Thank you guys so much for watching. For today's outro, I'm just showing you the box, but this is my Epic the Musical box that I got. I got a sweatshirt and a CD. There's currently nothing in this, but the original one, I got the CD for Epic the Musical, which has all 9 sagas on 3 different CDs, and I have that in my car. And then I got a sweatshirt. On the back it says, "Ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves," because that's a lyric in the Ocean Saga, and I was so excited to get it. So that is my